Hello everyone, welcome back. Warped back into my settlement and we found another battle. I think this one is scripted, so I thought I would record it. No time to talk, just time to kill. Anyway, we do have some more stuff to check up on today. Hope you will enjoy it. We might get out to go see Iteration Tethys in this video about that cool sentinel housing we found last time. Maybe we'll check in with our base computer if we have more time than we know what to do with. We're getting pretty close to being able to finish that mission or lore series, is probably a better way of calling that. I don't know if you've noticed, but I've been blowing off all the armor on the body of this walker. Looks kind of like a mech, you know, from... well, I guess the mechs from the Mech Warrior franchise are even bigger than that. Probably more like the size of the extra large walkers. I think I've shown those. If I haven't, we're going to have to do a video on that. Alright, so while we were gone, visitor has arrived at the settlement. Oh, by the way, these long, or not these long, but these frequent sentinel battles are just kind of a beginning thing. I think I mentioned that in the last video, but in case I didn't, I'm just going to reiterate that. If you get a settlement, you don't have to worry about them getting constantly attacked. It's just, you see a number of attacks at the beginning as part of the story. So let's see this visitor. We've got a visitor, planetary specialist Zuding has come to us for help. They say their communication systems have failed. They need to make a broadcast to call their home station. This visitor, we're going to have to pay a little bit to facilitate their communication, it looks like, and we're going to get some Vy'keen standing. In exchange for that, our Vy'keen standing is maxed out, so we really don't need to do this for our own sake, but, you know, stranger in need, what kind of people would we be? If we just turned him away, let's go ahead and assist him. It's going to cost us a little bit, but it's a relatively insignificant amount of debt compared to the rest of the debt that we have. So I did some thinking. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to call our freighter, and this is going to call it into orbit, but it's going to look like it's in an awfully low orbit. And if it's in the system, then we're going to be able to access our storage containers, since we have a wireless matter transport system installed. And we need some gold for our... I guess I'll just have that once. We need some gold for our next construction step on this factory. That's what we're building here. So there we go. Now we've got to wait another hour and a half. This is typical. Those first 3 steps to build the overseer's office, it is normally not that fast. The shortest buildings are about 30 minutes per step, and the longest ones, well, most of them are an hour and a half per step, like this. Some of them I think are a little longer, maybe 2.5 hours a piece. So we'll just try to keep checking in on our settlement between videos and see how it grows as we continue doing other things. But for now, we've dealt with all that needs our attention in this settlement. So we've got our construction supervisor on our freighter base that we can go check out, and we also have Iteration Tethys on the anomaly that we can go talk to. So we're going to hop in our little starship and head to the skies. The skies just above our little settlement. I think, as I was going to say, I got distracted by something that happened. I'm going to do a little calculation on how far. Whoa. We accidentally ran right into that frigate. I'm going to do a little calculation on exactly how much fuel it would take to get this freighter to our current system, and then I'm just going to make that fuel and throw it away. It's strictly unnecessary, but it'll make me feel a little bit better about cheesing my way across like 100,000 light years of space for free. That just bothers me a little bit that I can do that. So we're going to summon the space anomaly here, assuming we're far enough out of the atmosphere to do so. We're not yet. Go a little bit further. Alright, that was probably farther than we really needed to go. But we'll check this out first. We'll talk to Iteration Tempest, then we'll check in with our construction supervisor, overseer, and as I said before, maybe, if we still have time, at the end of the video, we'll poke that base computer one more time. It got lonely for the several weeks we've been doing other things. We should try to finish that lore book off. Lots of missions and mission chains and different sorts of buildings and places that we can investigate have lore chains associated with them, and we'll look into some of those. I'm not sure it's worth it to look into all of them. You'll have to let me know what you think, and if enough people are interested in it, we will cover more of that stuff. Some of it we might just summarize by going to the logbook in our catalog, like I showed before. But for now, we're going to talk to Tethys. Tethys scans the room, their narrow eyes darting rapidly back and forth. After a slight hesitation, they erupt in a flurry of excitement. Deceit, imposters, betrayal, suspicion. They have eyes everywhere, traveler. Eyes everywhere. He's a little paranoid. But I am not without my own methods. My network sees much of its own first. But first, tell me in your own words exactly what happened at your settlement. I will describe those new sentinels, which we've learned from some other stuff that we've done as corrupted sentinels. I believe we've learned that. Anyway, I know we've encountered them before. I think one of the missions we did called them that. They have never shown mercy to those who try to build on planets. It is a constant. But this is new, unexpected. We must learn more. Well, I found this shell. Tethys holds the drone in their hands, gently turning it over and over with a softness I had not anticipated. Forgive me, traveler. They have chased me for so long, but I have never seen one so close. Perhaps this one is our key. I could restore it, remap its mind. Our own link to their infernal hive. Yes, it would take a few new components. Only take a few new components. I shall begin at once. See what you can source from the others. Okay. So we need to talk to a few people. Let's see. It's the Twitch rewards thing. Really wish I could get rid of that. I forget who all we have to talk to. So I'm just going to talk to everybody real quick. We find you well, Portal Adept. Explain Tethys' plan to him. These drones are not the malicious force some imagine them to be, Portal Adept. I believe the Sentinels to be a vital, life-preserving function of the cosmos. I am heartened that Tethys begins to see sense. I will give you this phylactery. It holds a whisper of the ether that flows within the portals. Tethys will understand how to make use of it. That's mystical. Any sufficiently advanced technology becomes indistinguishable from magic, so they say. Oh, look at that. We're in a new system, and we appear to be able to get a new exosuit upgrade. I'm just going to grab that. I was running by and I saw that there was a blue light in that canister, so I stopped. None of those people back there are people that are going to have anything to say about Tethys' plan. This guy probably isn't going to have anything to say. Nope, doesn't have anything to say. Bye-bye-bye. He's only interested in food. Or it, or they, or whatever. This game likes to use the they pronoun. Traveler hopes to make progress. Traveler tests. Now, looks like he doesn't have anything either. We don't have any new milestones for him. So, let's get out of there. See if these folks have anything to say. Yeah, let's see what... This guy looks kind of like a cross between an owl and a mouse to me. Oh, kindred, be careful. Even with the best of intentions, we can make such mistakes. Blood of sentinels brings only lies. Does Polo know what you're doing? It would be both considerate and wise to let him know. Okay, I guess I'll do that. See if Gemini has anything to say. Maybe? Tethys is doing what to a sentinel drone? My friend, this is madness. The robots are not our friends. Not our friends? No, it's an awkward sentence. I don't think we know that the drone can be rescued. I don't think we've discussed that. That was what the conversation option said. My eyes long for beauty, traveler, but these sentinels are unthinking parasites, tearing down anything that may elevate us. But, you are, I suppose, building something new, taking that cursed shell and constructing something better. I will help you, but please keep safe. Take my nanite filament, that your drone may remember me when it awakes. And Gemini guy. Interesting. Pretty much everybody here has had some trauma at the hands of the Sentinels. Ah, young one. Looks like he doesn't have anything to say regarding this either. Just talking about some of the creatures we've seen and move on. Got a bunch of nanites for that. So it looks like Polo is probably the last one that we need to talk to. Oh, hit the arch. This should do it, I think. We were so lonely, Nada and I, before we found each other, before we found you, my friend. All of you. So many friends to share this time with you. You feel the same, I hope? He didn't have anything to say either. Alright. Maybe Nada. Nada and Polo's drift between worlds. There are many. Have you seen them, traveler friend? Nada wishes they could. Nada regrets much. She doesn't have anything to say either. I mean, I don't know if it's a she. It seems like a she. It's a digital life form. It's probably completely genderless. But whatever. Alright, Tethys. What can you do with what I've found so far? This handful of junk is what they gave you? No help at all. Ah, well, I can make it work. Tethys takes the damaged sentinel shell and my components. With them, the strange metallic being is reconstructed. Just let me here. Nearly. Ah, it's alive. Or I'm fairly confident it would be if it weren't for polar suppression fields. Its system readout keeps repeating the word glass. I'll have to take it away from here for a field test. Okay. Traveler, take care of it, won't you? Alright, well, Sentinel Flare, created by Iteration Tethys. Its primary function is to hail your reconstructed Sentinel drone. Okay, because I say that looks like my Sentinel drone there in the little icon. So we go to our inventory and activate it, and then it'll show up. So we'll turn it on. We'll turn it on. Alright, it's on now. As soon as we get out of here, it should do something. I'm going to go talk to Polo again, just in case. And we'll stop at our freighter on the way back down to the planet to see what will come of all of this. Yep, he doesn't have anything to say yet, so back down to the planet we go. Guess we could teleport down. Well, no, we're going. It probably wouldn't save us any time. It's not that far outside the front door. Whoosh. That's quite a front door. Part of our fleet has arrived from our missions. But that's not something we're going to be looking at today. I'm ready to be out of of this boat, the ship, and getting on to our next thing. Talk to this base construction overseer. We just kind of walked right through that door. That's funny. All right, hireling. You have so much to learn, so much to see, and this place will be our home amidst the infinite. Take this glass and let starlight flood into our jolly home. Okay, I will. We've used glass before. What do you want us to do with it? Everything pours through glass in the end, but there's time enough for that. There are other things we have to do. If you prepare chromatic metal, I will use it to calibrate a science terminal suitable for a korvax entity. The korvax have suffered terribly at the hands of my people. Be kind to them, I beg of you. The overseer asks me to gather chromatic metal in preparation for the recruitment of a korvax scientist. Okay. Hireling Era is already making themselves useful. A science terminal, a new korvax guest, and all for just a handful of chromatic metal. And my footwork to go find the fellow, I'm sure. Alright, we happen to have chromatic metal right here. Put it in our inventory just so it knows that we have it. There it is, collected chromatic metal. Easy peasy. Next, the chromatic metal friend, do you have it? Our relationship is not yet clear, but it is obvious from the urgency in the Gex voice that they are uncomfortable with my inaction. I sense they have grand plans for me. It is only natural, I suppose. They must sit here alone, bound by some unknown pact, while I have the freedom of the stars. The overseer is anxious for me to continue with my mission. I have it. I promise I have it. In my hand, right here. Silly. Guess I didn't give it quite long enough to register that I'd put it in my inventory. There you are again, traveler. I am sure you have the required materials this time. The overseer speaks strangely, implying that we have performed this encounter before. I have no memory of such meetings. Maybe I have a very short memory. We did just talk about it. I'm sure he's talking about some other time rather than the time that we just read a minute ago. I ask who paid them for this service they are performing for me. They laugh and claim that my child did many years from now. I do not know what they are talking about. The overseer asks me for the chromatic metal. I give him the chromatic metal. Perfect, friend. I knew you would succeed. Just what I need to finish the science terminal plans. There it is. Science terminal. We need 40 chromatic metal and 25 magnetized ferrite. We have littered the universe in our greed, traveler. This planet is no exception, but there is much that can be done with litter. Make your way to an abandoned structure and harvest the data from their terminals. I shall use it to fashion us plans for a storage container. We have them already. This is intended to be done far earlier, but alright. Caroline Era is reflective for a Gek. They almost seem to regret the greed that characterizes their people. They wish to make something new from the remains of the old. Is this just greed in disguise or something else? Such dramatic thoughts that my character has. Whatever their motive, the overseer claims, I will find data for a storage container blueprint in a nearby structure. In fact, I remember getting it from our base computer, which is interesting, because that base computer stuff is, I'm pretty sure it was implemented before this, but maybe not. You won't regret it, friend. I've marked you a site that seems to be ripe for exploitation. Alright, so now we have two more tasks to do. One is to build a science terminal. You can tell from the language that this is intended to be done on a terrestrial base. But now we have a science station. We might rearrange these things later. Maybe I'll put that also facing the stellar extractor. That seems appropriate for a science guy. Let's put it over there instead. Yeah, that works. Maybe we'll rotate this room so he has a better view of it instead of having his back, or having those, what do you call them, monitors in the way. Although that makes it a little harder for us to get to Yeah, we're gonna leave it the way it is. Alright. My apologies if I'm speaking too quickly and not explaining enough. I'm speaking so quickly in this video that I'm stumbling over my own tongue sometimes. I should slow down a little bit. Alright, so, how are we doing? We are about out of time. Let's see. We've managed the stuff down on the planet in our settlement. Why don't we go recruit that korvax scientist real quick? We're gonna run a little long, but not too long, hopefully. Let's check our map, see where he must be. He is in this system down here, very nearby. Alright, well, that's just the neighboring system, and I don't want to move this freighter right now. We'll move our starship instead. Just take a few seconds longer, and then our freighter will still be in orbit directly above our settlement for when we come back and need to deal with that. Whew. This warp tunnel looks a little darker than all those teleport terminus tunnels. Kind of purple and blue like the system we're in. I suppose that is coincidence. So we're going to get through into here and pick up the korvax research entity. And when you're waiting, every little delay feels like forever. Alright. At least they're not too far away. Unknown life form, I passed my test. Ehu, I am free to explore, free to pursue my passion for structural analysis. Do you have a base? A science terminal? Think of all that might be done. The korvax is happy, overjoyed to see me. They seem to have just completed some rite of passage for their species, necessitating them to go out into the universe and pursue their interests. The scientist offers to join my base if I provide them with a science terminal. Here you go. Ehu, think not of payment. Scanning you while you sleep will be reward enough. Okay, well, rather than going through the warp loading screen, let's go through the teleport loading screen and go talk to him at our terminal that we have just constructed for him. I want to get this out of the way before we end the video because this, like so many things in the game, has a timer that ticks along. It seems appropriate to get that timer going. So, we return to our base as the thing directs us. A fine base, traveler, as of course befits your honorable status. Oh, korvax shall be so happy here, referring to himself in the third person by his race name. Interesting. The korvax is brimming with enthusiasm. Neither their shell nor the walls of my base seem able to contain them. We need your help, Sir Korvax. Honor. To witness the monolith of the traveler. Honor. But please, Korvax, contribute. Korvax, contribute. Take these blueprints. Lubricant and acid liquids close to Korvax hearts. Really? Well, I guess the lubricant makes sense. We already know how to do those things. Those are two of the things that we use to make our very profitable trade goods. Traveler, harvest Marrowbulb, and Korvax will do more. We'll create plans for microprocessors and advanced refiners. Korvax will also clean windows while you are gone. That's funny. Korvax is desperate to please, showering me with praise and effort and offers of assistance. They will tell... I cannot read today. My apologies. They tell me travelers are to be honored, raised above all others. What have I done to earn such esteem? The scientist requires marrow bulb and cobalt, materials found underground. They will be able to use the substance to craft blueprints for microprocessors and advanced refiners. Joy, our home will be light and our windows will be clean. So funny. Alright. Now it's telling me to return to the scientist? Really? I don't believe it. I don't believe it. We don't have any marrow bulbs. I don't see any marrow bulbs. I see a big mess. I don't see any marrow bulbs. Yeah, I didn't think I had any. Alright. The thing is caught up. It says acquire 30 marrow bulbs. I'll do that between sessions, or between videos rather. And we will see you again soon in the next one. We'll get a little bit more lore. That's, after all, why we are doing these base expansion missions. It's for the lore. We don't need those blueprints. Have a good one, everybody. And until the next time, goodbye.